I just started a new one. Okay, so now that you guys have your QR code here, you can start to edit it and figure out creative ways to make this work for you. Okay, so let's say I did not take this picture, but let's just say I did. I can Command A to select all of it, Command C, and then I can paste it into a new layer into this document. I will need to change it. So I will go to Edit, Transform, Scale. I will click on the little chain link here, or I could also hold down the Shift key as I extend the image. Once I get it to fill my page the way I want it to. I can move it around if I need to. I think that looks pretty good, except those changes. So there's my bark. I can't see my QR code anymore. Okay, so the one thing I can do is add a mask to that layer to reveal part of the layer below it. This image though might not work. So you might want to play with this image to make sure that it has the contrast that you need. So you can go to Image Adjustments, Levels, you could play with hue and saturation, your color balance. Okay, this is a destructive edit. It is not like when we go to our new layer adjustment here, okay, it will be embedded in this layer. So if you want, duplicate the layer. So we're going to go to Image Adjustments. I'm going to click on Levels, and I'm going to make it darker. Okay? So I'll play with that to get it to be a little bit darker. I can go to Image Adjustments. I could play with my hue and saturation. Maybe I want to make it like a crazy color. You know? Oh, that actually looks kind of cool. So I'll do that.
Oh, I like that.
I went to Image Adjustments, Color Balance, or with this one I did Hue Saturation. So here you can play, you can increase the saturation so it'll make the colors really vibrant and crazy. Okay?
Color balance. Oh, yeah.
This is Hue Saturation. You can also play with the color balances too. If you went to Image Adjustments, Color Balance, you can make it more cyan or more red, you know? So it's up to you what you want to do. So I'm going to leave it like this. Another thing you can do to make your image, you know, different is I'm going to duplicate. Oops, sorry. Duplicate this layer. I'm going to go to Filter. Why can't I do my filters now? Image. Okay, hold on. I'm going to do this in a different document. Hold on. Control, save file new. Okay. I can also go to my filters gallery here. I can zoom out so I can see the whole image. And you can do some fun things. Here, I think I showed you guys some of these, but under the artistic filters, you can make it look like a painting, a sponge painting. You could do some different brush strokes. You could distort it, make it look like there's glass over it. That doesn't really work for this one. You can make it look more like a sketch, a photocopy of it. All right, so there's a lot of really fun things you can do in here. Get it to where you like how it looks, but keep in mind you want there to be a lot of contrast, okay? So maybe I like the paper cutout. For some reason, I always like this one for different reasons. So I'll play with the number of levels. You can play with the edge simplicity. Okay, and I'm going to just hit OK, all right? So then I'll go back and... So the reason I couldn't do it in this original one is because it's in a different mode. So I'll just do it this way. Okay, so let's say I'm going to use this one. Now, I want to reveal my QR code. I can go to Select, Load Selection, and click on QR code. And now you see the selection. You see those marching ants of my QR code. One thing I could do is I could just hit delete, and it will take away the image of whatever's selected. But that's a destructive edit, and we don't want to do that. So all I have to do is click on add layer mask, which looks like a little rectangle with a square in the middle. It's right next to your black and white cookie or your create new adjustment layer option. So I'll just click here, okay? And then what that does is it reveals the layer below it. None of my layers here are visible. I just have my white background visible, okay? I can now double click on this layer mask here and I can invert it. And now the image is only visible within the actual black QR code, okay? You can also click on mask edge and you can change some of the options here. So you could smooth out some of that selection and give it some smoother corners. Instead of hard square corners, you could get sort of rounded corners, okay? The feathering option will partially select pixels. Just as we did with our selections tools, feathering partially selects pixels. So this will change it so it'll become sort of fuzzy on the edge. For this purpose, it doesn't work for us. It will work for you for other functions, okay? So I might want to smooth a little bit, give it a little bit of a round edge, and I'm going to hit OK. Okay, now I could do some different things to my background if I wanted to. I'll just add a new layer. I could click on my gradient tool and I could fill the whole background with a gradient. I could make it lighter so that there's still contrast. I could go back up to this layer and add some different functions with maybe a glow if I wanted to. So this adds a glow inside my layer mask. Let me pick a different color so it's more obvious. Folks. Okay, so you can change your image a little bit to get some different things happening. You could do outer glow as well, and that will give you sort of a shadow. You could do the drop shadow. All right, so there's all different things you can do. So that sort of gives you the idea of what this is. So instead of me just deleting my selection, I created a mask. The black area in your layer mask, if I hit the Alt button and click on that, you'll see what your actual mask looks like. So whatever is black is revealing the layer below it, which is this layer, layer 3. And whatever is white in here is hiding this layer. So you'll see the image of your tree. Okay? So that sort of should help explain the concept a little bit better. You can do pretty much anything you want within the squares. The only thing you need to do is continue to check with your scanner on your phone and make sure that it still takes you to your website. Okay?